In this video, we'll look at new features in the InfoBurst HTML5 user interface. Many viewers of this video will be familiar with the legacy Flash interface, and the features that we'll review are new to the HTML5 interface. Let's start with analytics. Under the Monitor option, we have Analytics, and on this Analytics dashboard, administrators can monitor system activity, and they can view logs based on schedule, burst, or XDC status. Each one of these dots is clickable. Here, for example, if we select aborted schedules, we're taken directly to the schedules view and shown only aborted schedules. The next feature is the option to rerun a schedule from the schedules view. So on the left, we select our schedule. On the right, we select the rerun button. Within this dialog, we're presented several options. We can rerun only those items in the schedule that are aborted. We can pick and choose which items to rerun, or we can elect to run all or run everything in the schedule. There are also options for running events and actions that might be associated with the schedules. The next feature is object references. Here I'll select an object, in this case a burst. And for any object in the system, we'll see the References tab. And on the References tab, we'll see any objects that the current object references. So we can see that this burst, weekly sales burst, references a database query and a document. We can also see any objects that reference the current object. So here we have a schedule that references the burst. And you'll notice that each of these is hyperlinks. When we click them, we're taken directly to that object. Similarly, the new user interface has platform references. So if the administrator selects System and Platforms and selects a platform, we have the Documents tab. And under the Documents tab, we see all the documents that originated from this platform. The next new feature regards burst creation. Let's add a document to InfoBurst. Here I'll add a document from a Business Objects platform. And after adding the document, we have the option to add the document to a new burst. Likewise, if we select the document, we're presented the same link that when clicked creates a new burst, adds the document, and then we can go about renaming the burst and configuring the burst. The next feature is folder favorites. We have the ability to add a folder to a list of favorites. So here you can see I'm in my sales folder, and at the navigation bar next to the folder name we see this little gray star. If we select the star, it turns orange. And now that folder has been added to our favorites list. Now if we navigate up to the root, you'll notice a new button, which is the favorites button, which allows us to navigate directly to any of our favorited folders. Let's add a second folder. Say schedules, test schedules, and favorite that folder as well. So again, back at the root, and we can navigate to any favorited folder. We also have the ability to designate a favorites home. If we open our user profile on the top right and select the Favorites tab, we can see a list of our favorites. And if we'd like to add one of our favorites as our favorites home, we simply click the folder. It will add the little star icon. And now if we log off and log back in, we are taken directly to our favorite home folder, which is test schedules. In the HTML5 UI, we also have the ability to designate a landing page. By default, our landing page is Manage, but we also have the option to make our landing page Monitor. Maybe I'm an administrator who would like to log in and see system status as my first UI page. We can also land on the search screen. To change our landing page preference, select the user profile, select Preferences, and let's say I'd like to designate Monitor as my landing page. I simply select the option. In this case, I'm going to log off, log back in, and I now see Monitor as the first page in the new user interface. The next feature is contextual help or tooltips. So here we have a burst selected, and as I hover over different elements in the burst UI, and this would apply to any object in the system, you can see that we render tooltips. So where appropriate, we'll render a tip, a little bit of contextual help that guides you on how to use this particular interface. Some of them are hoverovers. So here, for example, I hover over the settings button and get a tip, over my document source button for another tip. Some are hover over, some are clickable. So here, for example, where we see the question marks, if we click, we can see a tooltip that contains a link back to documentation in the InfoSol help desk. So if we need to provide you more information about how to use a particular feature, just click the link and you're taken directly to that article in the InfoSol help desk. The last new feature is help desk search and links. If we open the help dialog by clicking the help icon, you'll notice we have a section called help desk, and here from the InfoBurst HTML5 user interface we can search keywords in the InfoSol help desk for help on how to use, how to fix errors, and that sort of documentation. So here we'll search a common business objects error, hit enter, a new tab is opened, and result for that particular search term is returned, and here we have an answer to the question, what causes this particular error and how do we solve it? Also, from the help dialog, we can access all InfoSol help desk documentation, we can open a new ticket with the help desk, and view any of our open tickets.